We got 4 this time. And we are here to discuss the transfer window, which slammed shut recently, which is always the way it shuts. It slams every time. I learned that over the years. So, guys, we had some incomings, and we're going to focus on the incomings at this point just because, well, that's what we're most excited about, right? So I'll list these in the order. I believe it's the proper order in which we got them. And just brief discussion of each, because if we talk about them as much as we want to, well, let's be honest, this turns into a 2-hour segment. So, guys, let's start with our new best friend, Richarlison. Yeah, he's pretty great. He's already started seeming awesome. Good guy, humble, and he's producing on the field. Forward from Watford. Apparently, according to the media, we paid like 120 million for him, but I believe the fee only goes up to 40. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, he's ruining the transfer window, folks. So guys, really quick, what do we think about Richarlison? Let's see here. Let's start with Paul this time. What do you got, Paul?
Richarlison, I mean, when we first got linked with him, I was like, okay, like every manager likes to bring in his own guys. He's clearly a player who Silva had a lot of faith in. Let's give him a chance. I don't care how much money we're spending on him. I don't care what the media think of how much money we're spending on him. Let's just give him a chance and judge him on his performances. And he's had, well, one senior performance, one league game, but in every game I've seen him, whether it was pre-season or that game against at the weekend, he's looked absolutely brilliant. He was my best player against Valencia in the final pre-season game. He was the best player against Rennes in that friendly we had over in France. So far, I'm really, really liking the look of this kid. And I just hope that he goes from strength to strength. And what I really like is that he seems like he genuinely likes being here. It looks like he's settled in really quick, and that he's built a rapport with the fans, and that can only make him a better player, hopefully.
Awesome. Max.
On Richarlison.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just hit the ground running, hasn't he, really? It's nice to see someone emerge on the scene like he looks to have. I mean, I know it's only one game, but obviously you put the screenshot of the goal scoring table on Twitter straight away, and it gives the sense that we've possibly got one of these players that can take the league by storm. And if his first game's anything to go by, the power that he demonstrates, his ability to control the game almost single-handedly, then I'm absolutely delighted, regardless of what I said earlier about the transfer.
Edward.
Yeah, that's quite funny you mentioned that, actually. No, I'm very, very happy with Richarlison, and when I did an instant reaction, I guess, to it on my channel, I was saying you got to outweigh like the pros and cons, because this guy's already like look at what he's done already in one game, and I hope he can do it for more than like the 5 games that they're all saying about. But before my actual match day vlog I put this little compilation together of everyone like doubting Richarlison and the signing and the money that we were paying for him. And interestingly enough, our good friend Max turns up in it as well.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Hey, if you could vault every single one of us at one point or another.
Yeah, I was very tempted to, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I actually didn't hate the signing when we got it. When I found out what we had paid for him versus what other people were paying for comparable signings, I actually thought it lined up. That's the thing. It lined up with what other people were paying for comparable signings. So, yeah, one of the things we'd been missing. Do you guys remember, harken back to a year where we would possess the ball a lot but couldn't crack into the box. We'd sit there and pass the ball around, pass the ball. Yep. Now we have these players who can unlock. And it's wonderful. They actually have some tremendous individual skill, and they can get around. They can take on defenders. I mean, this guy's second goal this past weekend was
fantastic.
Money. It was so good.
Yeah.
All right.
I
didn't think it would shot it. He just looked like I thought he was going to try to take another dribble or two, and the fact that he passed that and it had a little curve, dude, passed it right into the corner. João Virginia, I think it's Virginia. All right, keeper from Arsenal. We have a third string keeper now. He's like 6'3", and apparently a lot of the Arsenal supporters were pretty upset that they got rid of him. But they just have a lot of young keepers already, so they can afford to lose him. I think it's a smart signing for a third string keeper to get a kid who's going to be okay with not playing as much. You know what I mean? We have a veteran for a second string who, let's be honest, didn't really impress in preseason.
No.
And the third string keeper who seems like he's got a lot of talent and size. So I like the signing of João Virginia, if that's how you say it. So, Max, what do you think about that signing?
It demonstrates the pull factor of Brands and Silva working together. I think there's not many players. I think if you approach them and said, do you want to jump ship from Arsenal to Everton, that they'd bite your hand off. But he seems really eager and happy to be here, and I'm all behind it.
All right, Paul.
I go back to what you said. I like the idea of having 3 goalkeepers, and each one's a different generation. There's a guy who is the older guy, experienced, past his best, but can do a job when he's required to. There's the guy who's in his peak now, the guy who's going to be the number 1 for the undisputed foreseeable future, and the guy who they're slowly going to hopefully groom to be number 1 in the next, 10 years maybe, or maybe 6 years, or, God forbid something terrible happens to Pickford and he's out for a long spell, a guy who they feel they can kind of put in at the deep end and he will do okay, because I agree with what Edwards and what you said. Stecklenburg can do a job for a game, but if you told me right now Pickford was gone for a month or 2 months, I don't like the idea of putting Stecklenburg in goal for a long stretch of time. So
I agree.
I am relieved that we have got a third option goalkeeper.
Edward.
I'll make it quick. The only thing I don't like is the fact that he's younger than me. It makes me feel old.
I didn't know they made people younger than you, Edward. This is rooting me out. Indeed. So let's, Edward, follow this up with Lucas Digne, left back from Barcelona. Yeah.
Very, very happy. Very young player. Like, the only clubs he's played at have been Champions League clubs. But the best thing I have to say is his remarks after the tattoo. Yeah. And all the fact like that is just one of the best things I've
Google
ever
that,
heard.
people, if you haven't. It's just kind of cool.
Oh, it's a treat.
I thought I thought that was very savvy what he said. That I think I'm not bothered about people asking him stuff like, oh, can you say do you know what this means in Scouse? Do you know what that means in Scouse? I don't think he said that to just kind of endear himself to fans. I think he said that because he genuinely means it. No, I could have gone there and I didn't. I think so. I think that was a remark that came from the heart. It wasn't just him paying lip service.
Paul, do you like the signing?
Of Digne, or Dean, as he said he should be called. Yeah,
Is it Dean?
I like it. That's what he said, yeah.
Really?
He pronounces it Dean. Lucas Dean is how he pronounces it. Yeah, I like the signing. As we've said, Leighton Baines is a guy who is by no means on his last legs. I still think that left-back position is Baines' to lose, but it's not going to be his forever. I'm really, really happy that we've got a left-back who has played at big clubs, has big game experience, and as you said, looks like he's happy to be here and make the spot his own, because we haven't had any competition for Baines in how many years? I mean, Brian Oviedo had that little spell for 6 months, but other than that, Baines has just had that left-back spot to himself for the best part of a decade with no competition. So I'm really happy that, Baines is a professional, but I really like the fact that Baines knows that he's got to look over his shoulder now and know, if I don't perform, I'm out this team. And I really like that. And I really like the fact that Digne looks like he is raring to go to make that spot his own.
Oh, yeah. Max?
Definitely. Exactly the same as what Paul said there. He seems motivated, and that's a huge, huge thing to me. Coming from the level that he has, obviously his career did stagnate a little bit at Barcelona, but to have him so eager and anticipant as to join an Everton, whereas the likes of Gerry did take a bit of persuading and a bit of pull factor and the deal dragged on. So I'm delighted with it.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of negatives to this signing. He's come in. No. He came in and played like left wing, when we needed him to last game, and he slotted right in, worked hard. I like him. Seems like a good personality. He's a player who can play now. He can play now.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it's
the
not.
one.
We're not gonna have to wait a year for him to get his touch or gonna get the feel. But no, he's good now, and that's awesome. I didn't know that he would be. That's yeah. Max, what do you think about Bernard, free agent from Shakhtar
I'm
Donetsk?
I'm excited, and I think it's a really smart piece of business. It's a player that's gone considerably under people's radars. He had a lot of hype about him back in around 2013, 2014, but he stayed loyal to Shakhtar. He had his problems at Shakhtar, and the fact that we've managed to get him on a free agent is a brilliant bit of business by the club. You know, you look at the likes of Fred at Shakhtar, who's going for upwards of 50 million, and the fact that we managed to grab him, and he's unproven in Europe, and again, similar to Richarlison, can be one of these players that could take the league by storm.
Oh yeah, Edward.
Yeah, very happy, very, very happy. Looks like he's raring to go, ready to go. And I think he's going to be a real standout. The only problem I have is the fact that nobody else came in for him until later on. That's the only problem I've got. But it's sort of like it is the pull factor of Brands and Silva working as well.
Paul.
I'm happy with him. He is a big name, and it's the type of sign that will get people excited. But as Edward says, it didn't seem like he had an awful lot of suitors. Now maybe that's just because his demands were too high. I don't know. But with this signing, I'm trying to kind of just keep a bit of a level head. I'm not expecting miracles straight away. One thing that does concern me, he's very, very short. He's like 5'3", 5'4". I'm not saying a player of that size can't make it in the Premier League, but I think there's going to be a very long adjusting period. He's going to come into the team off the back of not playing since March, and he is going to get bashed about. He is going to have to get used to the pace. He is going to have to find a settled position, because I know he can play all along the front three. He is going to have to find a place on the pitch where what suits him in this league. So yeah. I'm happy with the signing, but I don't think people should be expecting any miracles from him just yet. I think there are other players we can expect more from this season at least.
Good depth. It's good depth, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember we were talking like either last week or the week before, I was talking about how we have nobody who can come off the bench and immediately be a game changer. This guy can be. Or he can slot in to the starting lineup and have somebody else come in and be that game changer who is already in the starting lineup. I love the signing, especially since he can slot in not just at one of the wings, but also in the center if he needs to, in terms of like a number 10. He can do a lot. I like it. His size is a concern. You're right. It's the most physical league in the world.
Well, to be fair, actually, David Silva isn't actually much taller than him either. And look how he's doing.
You know what's funny? That's the same example I used in my brain. That's David Silva. He's the short example,
David Silva's a freak. There ain't too many David Silvas. If we've got one, great. But you know what I mean? David Silva's David Silva.
So really quick, guys. Yerry Mina and Andre Gomez both coming in from Barcelona. One on loan. Gomez who is actually injured right now. He's got a hamstring issue, but I believe he'll be providing some competition for Schneiderlin. And Yerry Mina, we bought him. I'm assuming there's somewhere around $60 million buyback clause, which is how we got him, I think. These are signings. Again, I like these signings a lot. What do you think, Paul?
Again, just squad depth, isn't it? I mean, it took long enough with Mina, but he's here now. There's no point harping on about how long it took. I'd like to see him in the team sooner rather than later. He is going to have to take a while to get fit, but I really like to see if him and Michael Keane or him and Zuma can develop a partnership. Yeah. Hopefully we see that sooner rather than later, because I think he's got a lot of qualities that would contrast well with the likes of Michael Keane. Andre Gomez, he's one of these names. He was a big name a couple of years ago. He had a lot of clubs after him. He got the big move to Barcelona, and it's not quite worked out. But, just because it doesn't work out at Barcelona doesn't make you a bad player. And maybe this is just exactly what his career needed, a shot in the arm, go to a club that's hungry and on its way up, not a club that's already at the top, come to a club that's looking to get to the top. Maybe this will be a move that suits him, and if he can get Schneiderlin out the team when he's fit, then that makes me happy, because I'm not a Schneiderlin fan.
Well, let's go to Schneiderlin super fan, number one, Max, who, calls Schneiderlin on speed dial every night. What do you got, Max? What do you think about these signings?
When I think about Andre Gomez, I do think of obviously that kind of Morgan Schneiderlin frame of a player, but I think he's just got a lot more forward emphasis to his game. He's a lot more forward thinking, and he likes to drive forward with the ball a lot more. What I will say is when I was in Barcelona, I went and had the tour of the ground. When we were in the changing rooms, it's, obviously Suarez's locker, Coutinho's locker, Messi's locker, and next to Messi is Andre Gomez, and he got the piss took out of him for having his locker next to Messi. So he became a bit of a joke of a player there, which makes me think, maybe his confidence is a bit low coming in. Obviously, he knew himself that it wasn't working out at Barcelona.
Yeah.
But, for the double edition, I'm sure him and Mina will both use each other to settle him well. And just on Mina, I've been a big fan of his since he moved to Barcelona. He's World Cup hero for Colombia, and I think it's an absolutely fantastic sign.
Edward, have you commented on these yet? I don't believe you have.
Very, 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 very happy with both of them coming. And I think as soon as we got Gerry Mina linked with us, I was just like ecstatic, and I really wanted him at the club. Andre Gomez is one of those ball-playing centre mids. He is. That's the thing. Like with all these players that we brought in, they've all fitted into places we've actually needed. That's the thing we've desperately needed to look into. And I just love the fact that someone put up a tweet the other day, which was brilliant, saying, "I'd rather be Barcelona B than Southampton A."
Yeah.
I thought that was just the best thing ever.
I love these signings. They're great. Big fan of both. They fill holes that I thought we had in our squad. The optimism got taken a little bit out of Mina, but having heard what Bronze said today about the fact that we were waiting on, we had put out and it was partly, a big part was us waiting and not other clubs coming in for him apparently. So yeah, I'm optimistic about this now, and he's going to be in training tomorrow. Hey, Wednesday.
Nice.
Oh no, not Wednesday. That's Thursday, right? Yeah. Thursday.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And lastly, Kurt Zuma. I was going to be angry if this didn't come through because I was so optimistic about it. I think it's fantastic depth. Another quality big center back who's got some speed, can play that high line if necessary. Edward, you like this?
Very, very happy with it. Very happy with it. I just want to. There's no buyback option in it, so I'm a bit annoyed at that. That's the only part I'm unhappy about. But I think he's just going to be a quality addition. And even if he doesn't get in the starting lineup, like say Keane has a complete brilliance of a season and he doesn't get in, at least we've still got a quality centre-back option to come in case one of them has to go out.
Right on. Max, what do you got?
Bringing in a centre-back partnership, I think, again, it just speaks highly of the business that we've managed to pull off. We were in a bit of a state of crisis about our defensive situation, and that deadline day has just sorted it all out completely. And just on the fact that it's a loan, I think I'd probably put him in the team ahead of Keane and ahead of Holgate just to get our worth out of him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So Paul, finish this up on Zuma.
I didn't watch a lot of him last season. I know he played a lot of games for Stoke, but who likes watching Stoke if you don't support Stoke? But again, it's great squad depth, isn't it? We know if one centre half's having a particularly bad time, we've got 2 or 3 other centre halves who we can choose from to replace him. Whereas last season, it just seemed like Ashley Williams and Michael Keane, no matter how badly they played, they were going to be in the team. At least one of them was going to be, because there was just no other option to replace them. Holgate was injured, or Jagielka was injured, or it was either that or pick a kid, and we weren't going to pick a kid, were we? So I just like the idea that they're all so interchangeable. We can play them together, see who works with who, see what partnerships can develop. And obviously, there can't be room for everyone. And if there isn't room for a Zuma at the end of the season, we can just send him back. Or if there's not room for a Holgate at the end of the season, we could probably find someone willing to pay a lot of money for Holgate, or Keane, alternatively, So yeah, great to have these options, and I hope we see Kurt Zuma, Gerry Mina, Lucas Digne, Gomez. I hope we see them all sooner rather than later.
So, gentlemen, quickly, favorite signing out of the I guess that's 7 I mentioned. Your favorite signing, Paul, go.
Richarlison.
Edward.
I'm gonna say Mina.
Max, what do you got?
Mina.
And I'm going to say Richarlison.
The fact that all these are saying about how they wanted to come in because Silva because of Marco Silva
That's
speaks
Oh,
quite big volumes of Marco Silva
Definitely.
himself.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, that does it for our transfer window roundup. If you are digging the videos, please subscribe. If you're one of the over 1,000 people who have subscribed to us, thank you. And you are awesome. And you've made us feel all fuzzy inside. It's wonderful. If you want to get more Max, check out Max's analysis on the Toffee Blues website. He's also popping up, was it on the Canary and Blue podcast recently? Yeah, Max is everywhere boy now. He's everywhere. Check out Paul on the Liverpool Echo fan jury. He's got some pieces coming out soon now that the season has started. That'll be a thing for him. And Edward has his own channel, JME James. Details are below. Bye.